Hello all and welcome to another episode of Trade of the Week. As you can see here, we've got US 500 or S&P 500. Been holding this for since last week actually. So it's been a long time we've been holding this one for. Okay, it's looking very good. I just keep on just edging my stop loss and just moving that as we go along. No set take profit, but right now I'm very happy with the profit that we're actually in. So I'm just going to keep trailing it until it actually does take me out. Okay, and then the next one we see here, we've got gold. And just like I've been saying, for gold, we've been targeting the daily candle slash IPA area, and we'll go over that shortly. Been holding this for a little while as well. We stacked on my other account, I stacked on it a couple more times on my smaller timeframes. This account is basically mainly based on bigger timeframes, but my smaller account will be kind of stacking on there and kind of taking profits here and there and just in and out, in and out, in and out. So gold, like I said, we'll break that down shortly. But yeah, definitely, as you guys know, gold is my baby. 80 to 90% of the time I'm trading gold. So I keep very close tabs on it. Okay. Next one we got in here, we've got Euro USD. Again, another one I've been holding for about 2 weeks. Just as we expect, the DXY is tanking down. We're not sure exactly how low it's going to go yet, but I do expect it to go really low in due time. Exactly how low it's going to go and how long it's going to take, I can't answer that exactly, but I do have very specific areas that I'm looking at for it to go down into long term. Okay, and then we've got our last one. Again, US 100, okay, or NAS 100, whichever you want to call it. So again, just another one of this kind of intraday trades that I was in throughout the week. And yeah, it's been doing okay so far. We haven't reached our top target yet, but we're getting closer and closer as we go along. So very good trades for the week slash past weeks that I've been holding. And in regards to gold, we'll go into that now. So you can see right on 1780, which is again, if you remember me saying, if you understand these quarter points, very interesting number for it to come into. Okay, but when we go to the daily, if you remember me from last week saying, once this was created, we started buying from here. I accidentally closed a trade from here. I was kind of angry about, but we stacked up again in here. But again, kept on just pushing. And yeah, we finally got into our area that we've been looking at for the last 2 weeks. Okay, 1780, which is a very nice number for quarter point reasons. Got this IPA in here. We've got this up candle. There were just so many. There were so many reasons why we needed to get in here. So now I'm just curious to see how we're now going to play this, because we're in a very key area now, because we come to a roadblock, and I call them roadblocks because one or two things can happen now. We can either react from here and drop, take out this target that we created before we actually went up, as above, so below, or we could break past here and then shift to this IPA area, so about 1900. And then from there, it'll be very interesting. Once it does come into 1900, I would expect it, just take out these low liquidity runs over here. Okay, we got more IPA over here, about 1950, 1960. And then my overall target, as you guys have been hearing me say for the last, I don't know, 2-3 months, maybe even 4 months, would be if we could come into this 2100 quarter point. Okay, so if I just flip charts and flip it into this one where we actually analyze our longer term timeframes. So initially, when we actually reacted from here, and I've been kind of selling, and I still got on my other account, I've been still holding a sell since the 6th of January. So I've still got on one account where I just holding sells, and I do kind of long term want it to come down here. Okay, if that doesn't happen, then again, we already know 2200 would be the areas that I've been looking at for a long time. So literally right now, we're in a very key price level where we can literally see anything happen. Right now, my bias is to the upside. Okay, so I do want 2100, but if, like I said, if it doesn't work, then I already know where we're coming down to. But right now, I am overly bullish. Okay, so we already knew in and around this weekly candle over here. Okay, we already knew if we kind of respected that or stayed above it, then more than likely we could expect an old school way of trading, which is doing something like a measured move. Okay, and it doing kind of the 2100. Okay, so when we look at that, and then also if you use your fibs, okay, so if you get your fib from this low to this high, okay, we see was in and around our premium zone, 89. We kind of broke past it, but the bodies is what's more important rather than the wicks. Okay, so we see the bodies close in and around exactly where we need it to close in. And then we had various weeks where we're just literally chilling in this area. And then the last 2 weeks, we started making some bullish rallies. So when we're looking at that, and again, if we understand in the way we use our fibs, we always look for minus 27 as our extension. Again, look at the price, 2180. Again, I explain this to my clients and students all the time. These 80s, 50s, and 20s very important numbers. So once you start taking that into account into your trading, you start to see why they're so powerful and why they line up. Again, there's further reasons behind it, but again, you know, it defines the content if you are looking to actually understand things a bit further. But if we do respect this, like I am expecting right now, then my wish of 2100 slash 2200 in and around these areas, yeah, I'll be very much looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to that. That'll be serving me very nicely for the next couple of months or a year or so, however long it takes. Okay, so that's my analysis for gold. And that's why right now we are overall bullish and we've been buying since here and we'll keep stacking and stacking. So right now we are in a very crucial area just to understand if we're going to respect market structure or are we going to keep brushing up. If we keep brushing up, like I said, once it breaks past this 1880 levels or let's even say 1900, I would be very ambitious and say, yeah, maybe 2100, 2200 and beyond would be realistic. Okay, so coming to DXY, again, this is why we said we kind of started buying Euro USD, GU, all these kind of pairs, because once we understood that this IPA was filled, tapped into, then we knew it was going to come for these lows, come into here potentially, and then rise back up. Or it could totally just sweep the whole thing. They totally just sweep everything in there and then come down to these levels down here. Okay, so that could be very, very long term. Okay, very, very long term. And this, you can see what I already kind of planned for it. Like we come here in the next 2-3 years, and then for the next 4 or 5 years going into there, maybe 2030, we might be back into here. And again, things we talk about in sessions, things like the digital dollar coming into play, things like that could have this kind of effect. So there's various factors that we are looking at right now to see if this can happen. And if it does, it's going to be a very interesting time, very, 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 very interesting time. So again, like I said, because the dollar's dropping right now, we expect things like GU, EU, things like that to be kind of correlating in hindsight to kind of go up. So we could see why I was in around here buying. Okay, same as EU, as you saw on the print screen. Okay, we was buying from these levels here, and then we've got this target over here again, 23,000. Okay, so yeah, it's looking good so far. Okay, it's looking good so far. When we correlate DXY, we start to understand what to do with many things. Oil started to rise again. So we had this very long consolidation in here, and then towards the end of last week, we started to push up. So it was positive signs. Okay, for long-term views of oil, initially I was thinking if we can respect this area, which we did, we literally tapped it, and I was thinking we could come down into this area or this area. I would absolutely love it. So we could buy more. Okay, we started buying from these areas here, but I actually wouldn't mind if we came back into these areas here, so we could buy more. Okay, make more money, make more profits from it. So right now, I'm currently not in an oil trade because I did sell in here. Okay, it started to come back up. It took my stop profit, and just because of the way price action was going, I just thought, you know what, I'm not trying to get back in until I see something clear. So right now, we can still head back up into this area, which is my second target and beyond. Okay, or if we do find some kind of distribution or something happening here, then I'll absolutely love it if it come back to about $40 per barrel. Okay, so that's my trades of the week, and that's what I'm kind of looking at right now. Okay, there's various other things in here. I'm adding more kind of trades into my watch list because of these kind of pairs, CAD JPY, USD JPY, all these kind of things. I start looking at it thinking, yeah, can we actually get small time frame analysis trades? Okay, so I did take a print screen of this one. I probably should have, but with UJ, I was just wondering, as we was in and around this candle, can we get about 220 pip move into there? So we got some nice entries. Okay, it kind of floated around in there, and we got literally a tap on here. Okay, tapped it, and then yeah, as market was closing, we started to come back down. So it's not looking that great right now, especially understanding there's some liquidity just chilling here for us to take out. It's not looking that great right now, but again, if it doesn't work, again, you got to see what my arrows are doing. I'm not sure why this one's all the way here, but you should be here. Okay, and then if we could do something like that, if we do break, then I'll expect it to, let me go into the daily. If we do break, I expect it to do something like this, where we tap off our remorse area, okay, or order block, whatever you want to call it, and then see if we could come down into these areas here. Okay, about 98. Again, let's just take notice of that number. Okay, we'll see if we can come into 98. So that's what my idea was in regards to something like UJ, and expecting to see what the dollar is doing right now. I mean, it won't be surprising we take out this internal lows. Okay, come to 98, very nice number. That'll be very sufficient. if that happens just the way I like it. So again, long-term targets, we'll be thinking, can we get to 80? Okay, again, take attention and take note of that number. And then from 80, see if we could take out these targets. Again, these are very long-term trades, 150. Again, take count of that number. Okay, see, these are very, very long-term kind of focuses or biases that I have right now. We need to still see further evidence of that happening, but I won't rule that out, especially expecting what we're expecting for the DXY. Okay, so we see how I start correlating things using seasonality and all these kind of things to enhance our trading and make better decisions and have more confidence in our trades. So that's me for this week. Until next time, I hope you do have a great week. I hope you do have a very successful week, wherever you class as success to you. And I will catch you next time. Take care.